Welcome to your Cochrane Right Now. This is a weekly podcast all about the best town in the world, Cochrane, Alberta, and lots has been going on this week. My name's Eric Ruddle, joined as always by Lauren Meister.
It's been a really busy week.
Yeah, it's been a busy week because we are in the top 4 for Hockeyville. So if you don't know what Craft Hockeyville is, this goes on every year, I believe.
It does go on every year. But this is a first for Cochrane.
Yes.
First time that we've ever been top 4.
So Craft Hockeyville is saying they will bring $250,000 to the community to help update an arena. Ours is the Cochrane Arena, the one up near Cochrane High. 50 years old this year. And also a preseason NHL game. So hundreds of communities submit and say, hey, we want this, obviously. It takes a ton of effort from the community. We did it. We're in the top 4, but now we are just a couple million of votes away from winning.
And that's exactly it. So we talked to Erin. She's the CEO over at SLS Center, and that's what she's saying is basically this isn't just a Cochrane effort. This is an Alberta effort, and really everybody in Alberta, everybody that we know, we need to just kind of get everybody on board to get ready to vote. We have about 32 hours or so to vote coming up in just a couple of weeks. And then that's when it's kind of go time. That's what it's going to take. We need to vote millions of times if we want to win this.
And it's an interesting date that it landed on because it's Good Friday into the Saturday of the Easter weekend. It's almost perfect though. Like, hey guys, in-laws, I can't hang out right now. I gotta go vote.
It's a perfect excuse, actually.
Yeah. And you could get all the kids on the screens and get them tapping. But we looked into some of the previous winners, and it is millions of votes. But we are the only community in Alberta. We're up against one in BC, Saskatchewan, and Ontario. So we should be able to run away with this.
we have the population compared to Saskatchewan. Maybe not compared to Ontario and BC, but minor detail.
Yeah.
I think that we have that community spirit, and I think people know a lot of people. And, I think about voting things just here in Cochrane. You look at like our best neighborhood competition that we do, and people vote tens of thousands of times. And this prize is a huge, huge prize, something that's going to be so meaningful to our community. So I think that people are pumped about it, and I think people will come out.
Especially because we can't skate outside, at least much this year. So we need more rinks. We need better facilities. And this $250,000 is going a long way. So that kicks off Good Friday. And yeah, this has got to be the shortest winter I've really experienced in Cochrane, at least the wonkiest winter.
It has. It kind of seemed like it took forever for the outdoor rinks to be up and open again. I feel like, and we could be wrong when we say this, but I feel like it was after Christmas when the official skating surfaces opened, like Tim Bannister Memorial Arena and then Mitford Pond. So they officially opened. They were only open for just over a month, and then now it's been so warm that they're closed.
Yeah, no, it's over even before spring has sprung, and it has been one of the hottest seasons I can think of. Yeah, we had that cold streak, but even then stopped the production of ice because it got too cold for the town crews to do anything. So we need to win Hockeyville so the kids have somewhere to skate.
It's true.
Right? So, that's been really wonky. And we actually went to the Big Hill. When I say Big Hill, I mean the Bow Ridge sledding hill.
The big sledding hill.
Exactly. Before all the snow melted here to see how fast you truly went down. Because I grew up here, been going down on a toboggan on that hill forever. It feels like you're going at least 200 kilometers per hour.
Yeah, I mean, if I would have guessed, like between 50 and 75K an hour because it's gets a little scary actually sometimes, especially when you go there on a busy day and you're dodging kids and or the days that it gets a little bit icy. So we went there and we tested it out, and to be fair, there was no one else on the hill, which was a good day, and it wasn't icy. So I'd be curious to know if the speed was a bit different on an icy day.
Yeah, and we actually teamed up with the Cochrane RCMP, so Constable Clayton Jelanis was there with us, and he had 2 different devices. He had a radar gun and a laser gun, but he's like, honestly, the laser gun is more accurate, but you need to reflect. You need to be like a car. You need to be shiny for it to bounce back. So we used the radar, and we topped out 34 kilometers per hour riding solo. Then I surprised you riding down behind you there.
You did
and we
surprise
did
me.
37 kilometers per hour. And honestly, I don't know if a kid could beat that because obviously we're a little bit heavier than children. And I think you do need that weight to get the speed.
I think you need that weight. Yeah. So 37 with the two of us. Yeah. I feel like we were going pretty good.
Yeah.
It was pretty fast. We were wearing helmets.
Yes.
We were thinking about the safety precautions. I felt like I got a pretty good face wash going down there as well. But, we were pretty lucky. We didn't take any big spills.
No, exactly. And it really shows why adults don't usually go tobogganing because, we took a couple of small, inch falls and it's like, oh, man, my back hurts.
I was sore for a couple days. I cranked my neck a little bit. I felt like I needed to go to the chiropractor.
And there's that Envision 2050 thing going on with town right now where you can do a survey to tell them what we want in the future. Gondola up that hill because nothing will show you that you are out of shape more than walking up that Bow Ridge Hill. Like we were huffing and puffing.
We probably went up 15 times
which was impressive.
Yeah, and I feel like that's the biggest workout that I've gotten in the last 15 years.
Yeah. And it's really interesting in that area as well as 2 years ago, our biggest hotel, I would like to say, the Ramada, burnt down. Mm-hmm. It was really sad. It was quite devastating. And 2 years later, they have officially reopened.
Yeah, so exciting news. So guests are staying there once again. It's a little bit bigger. They got a few extra rooms. Mm-hmm. But the only part of the hotel that did not burn down was the swimming pool. Yep. So that pool is actually not open again, though. So they're going to be opening the pool, but they have to do a full gut of the pool. Okay. And then they're going to kind of revamp and fix that up. But I felt like that was kind of interesting because they've rebuilt the hotel, but they don't have the pool quite open just yet. So maybe that's just going to take a little bit more time.
And that pool, yet again, growing up was really hot because we didn't have water slides here in Cochrane, right? Those are relatively new to our history, but that one did. So we had every once in a while friends who would stay there and be like, come and go down the water slide. Yeah. Super cool. So hopefully it doesn't take a lot. I don't know how smoky it got in there or singed.
And my concern would be, of course, that hotel was struck by lightning 2 different times. Right. So now that we have a new one, I feel like all the bad stuff is gone.
Right. We burnt that away.
It's gone. It all got burnt away. But since the pool is still there, does that mean that some of the bad energy is still there?
The bad juju. I sure hope not.
I hope not for the sake of, the owners and all of the things. Yeah.
But it is reopened, which is great because, we're in playoff hockey time. There's so many different communities coming to Cochrane and not sleeping in your car goes a long way.
It's true.
Right? And some huge news coming from the station. They are bringing in some new artwork. So a couple of months ago, they kind of opened it up to everyone saying, hey, submit some artwork, whatever you think would go nice in that green space right next to us here. And they've locked in 3 different artists. So 2 are a pair. They're making 2 sculptures, and 1 is a solo making a sculpture. No idea what it's going to be.
Not a clue. So these are professional artists. So I'm sure they're going to be absolutely gorgeous pieces. So we don't know how big they're going to be. We don't know what they're going to be of. Are they going to be wildlife? Are they going to be more abstract?
Cowboys.
You think they're going to be more cowboys? Yeah. I don't know because recently we got a picture of what the new sculpture is going to be over at the museum, the Chaps Museum, and we thought that was going to be a cowboy, but it's not. It's an owl.
Yeah, it is an owl, and that one's going to be made out of wood. It's really cool. Honestly, sometimes people are kind of like, oh, why are we spending money? The artwork does elevate our community, especially these pieces made by some very professional artists. So they're saying over the next couple of months, they might share a little bit more, but I don't know. I could see that green space becoming one of the most popular areas here in town. It's still relatively new, but so central that it'll be really cool to see some artwork in there. And we had some really cool kids come and visit us here at the radio station because they read more than either of us have ever read in our lives with the Fireside School readathon.
The readathon. Probably more than we've ever read times 2. I'm going to guess.
Yeah, because what was it? We talked to these 2 kids who were over 5,000 minutes read in just over 2 weeks?
Just them. Yeah, just them alone. And the one lady, Laura, she, during the 2 weeks during the readathon, she was rocking ebooks, audiobooks, and then physical books just to kind of meet her minutes, her goal that she wanted. But so incredible talking to her. And then we had to ask her, what are you doing after? And she's like, yeah, I need to take a little bit of a time off, like kind of put the books down here, maybe watch some TV or something. Yeah. But the school as a total it was over 800,000 minutes. And then it's not even just the minutes. They're also raising money as well. So they raised over $14,000. And that's going to basically go to buy more books, just to kind of bring in more books so the kids can read them all at the school.
Sometimes I turn on the subtitles on Netflix. You think that kind of counts as reading?
Sure,
at this point?
Well, during readathon you can count them as minutes.
No, a huge shout out to those kids. Like, we did the math. It was over a year and a half of minutes read in just over a 2-week period, which is really impressive, and also impressive for the parents screaming at the kids, being like, "You gotta keep reading." Right?
That's super impressive.
That's everything going on in Cochrane this week. You can grab this podcast on all your favorite podcast services. And until next time, talk to you again soon.
Yeah.